Let's get ready to rumble. That's right. It's episode number 13. Blake is rolling his eyes. He hates the way that I speak. I don't know why he still talks to me. Suni, on the other hand, is getting excited, and she's going pew pew to the screen. I love it. And Casey is looking at one of his 37 screens he has in his house that he either does for day trading or watching adult films. We're going to get started with ConserVengers. If you don't know anything about the show, we have a little bit of fun on this one. This is not safe for work. There is going to be swear words. There is going to be a little bit of fun. There's going to be some joking. And what we like to just say is this is a safe space for conservatives to vent and complain and bitch about the absolute just insanity going on in this world. So we don't feel like we're so alone, and we don't feel like we're living in bizarro world from Jerry Seinfeld.
We are.
We're 100%. Blake is completely right. I mean, Blake's wearing camo. A gay man wearing camo on a hat. Something can't be right about that.
Don't make me get my purse.
Let's get started.
Stage left if you do that.
Wait a second. Blake, do you have a purse?
No, but I have a Jen Pizeki wig.
That's true. Yep, it's that time for ConserVengers. We've got the crew. We got Blake in the house, Casey, and Suni, the middle child, and we've got people popping in from all over right now. You know, Suni, when you make that joke to me, I feel like we should actually have the shirt saying instead of massa, it's Matta. Yes, Matta.
Wait, am I allowed to put it on?
What?
What on?
You know, Suni.
The wig.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Put the wig on. Do it. Do it.
This one's for... I'm Jen Pizeki 2.0. I'm new and improved, and I don't have her hair.
Do you actually know how to answer a question? Because that would be a real step up.
I'm going to have to circle back.
Circle back. I think after the PTP show, everybody's grabbing a little dinner. Once you get back, go ahead and share this out there and hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the hearts button, hit all of the above. We got to get a little bit more people on here, but we're going to get started either way. Oh, my Lanta. So, God, I need a blonde one so I could be Kaylee and actually know what I'm talking about. I'll be Kaylee. Blake will be...
I want Suni to be Kaylee.
Hey, it's 2021. We can identify as whatever the hell we want to.
What the... Where
Wait,
are we?
why do I also look like Shaun White? Like,
Jesus.
yeah, bro, just won the 2012 Olympic Games, bro.
I met Shaun White at Chino Latino in Minneapolis, or the Twin Cities, St. Paul. Met him at the front door. It was a pretty exciting moment for me.
Was there a shooting there?
No, there wasn't then. It was back when Minnesota was peaceful.
When was that?
I think a little bit before June 1st of 2020. It used to be considered the nice city, friend city. What did actually, one thing I forgot, because we're going to talk about LeBron James, because I know Suni wanted to go a little harder, but she couldn't quite be the way she wanted to on Primetime Patriots. So we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about how somebody is referring to me sharing the truth that Suni and Casey and I talked about last night is an agenda. Apparently, truth has become an agenda. People calling this a civil rights movement, which to me is a bitch slap in the face of civil rights. We're people in the 1960s. And how do people look at the footage of the woman stabbing the other girl, or the girl stabbing the other girl, and not think that a shooting was justified and that there should have been something else done? But before we get started, Beetlejuice herself has just said they are going to, I just saw this article pop across, they're going to do away with, what was it? We just got that article while you guys were on. What did it say? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No. She Beetlejuice.
I feel like am I on drugs?
No, it's crazy. No, what is it? Oh, here it is. She is allegedly, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is considering requiring police officers to get this. Are you right? I want to see your guys' faces. To get a supervisor's permission before beginning a foot chase.
That's stupid. I mean, let's circle back.
That's real life. Can you imagine if your child was killed by an assailant or allegedly killed, you're like, I think that guy killed him. That dude right there, and he starts taking off running, and the cop has to get permission from her supervisor to chase down the person that just killed somebody. You can't be fucking serious.
Wait, hold on. Stop running. I gotta see if we can do this.
Hey,
Let me call him. Let me call him real quick. Hey, there's this guy running. Hold on 1 second. Can I chase him?
hi, my name's Karen. I'm trying to talk to the supervisor so I can get permission to chase him. Can we just do that, please?
I'm on hold. Hold on. Hey, hold on. What kind of answer would you get? That's the other question. So if you're like, hey, permission to chase suspect, what are they going to say? Like, what does he look like?
What color is the subject? What color is he? What color is the subject?
What can a supervisor that's not on site be able to make a decision that a trained police officer cannot? What are they going to like? They're going to start asking a bunch of questions. Like, is there a checklist? I know that this is just being presented. It's not official. It's being rumored. If this actually comes into play, if I was a Chicago police officer, I don't know if Shelly's watching right now, but I would be out. I'd be like, I can't.
Hold on. That's like me. That's like me working in the ER and being like, hey, his heart stopped. Should we start compressions? Or like, can you tell me? Okay, we can't. Okay. No, they said no. Like, what?
It's crazy. And yeah,
LeBron
Sudi's
James
tired.
is a little beta male.
We're all tired. You should have seen our team call last Friday. Legit, we look like we've been beat over the head.
We really all were. I was sleeping. I swear I fell asleep.
It's hard out. We should make a new song. It's hard out here for a conservative. Hard out here for a conservative.
I'm just the level of stupid and the leadership across this country is fucking alarming. So we have to call for a supervisor to give us okay to like. So what if a kid is being kidnapped, or what if there's like multiple calls of officers asking, "Hey, can I do this?" and you can't get to everybody? Like, what's gonna happen then?
Wait, why would we like just train police officers to make that decision? Oh wait, we already flipping do. Hello. How about the mayor calls the people first before she puts in some stupid order and sees what they think first? Oh, maybe we should do that. Or maybe our president should like listen to maybe the people, or like maybe our governors, or maybe, I don't know, our senators, our legislators, our House of Reps. Maybe they should all circle back to the American people.
There is no way to deny that we are now putting the lives of criminals above the victims in those situations. We are placing criminals on a pedestal where they should be protected, instead of saying what we have said in the whole history of the United States of America, which is don't break the law. We are now saying we prefer it if you didn't have criminal activity, but if you do, we will do the best we can to make sure there is anything we can do to be safe.
Wait. Anthony, act like you're doing a call again. This is how they'll respond.
Well, who am I in this call?
You are the police officer that's about to chase a suspect.
Okay, all right. Role playing, I like it. Okay, do I need to change clothes? Do I need to change my bra? No,
I'm the operator.
This is getting super awkward. Role play?
All right. So here we go. Yeah, I'm calling dispatch. We've got a gentleman on the. We've got something on the run right now. Get permission to charge.
What color is he?
I believe it's at night right now. He does have he's got a gun and another weapon. He appears to be a black male.
Okay, we'll be sending out a social worker. Thank you.
Oh, got it. Okay, so I should just stay here.
Social worker, yep. Mm-hmm. New protocol. Defund the police, bye. That is seriously, they literally, no, like, wait, hold on. They really are trying to send, I can't wear that anymore. I don't know how people wear wigs. They are literally trying to send social workers to do this stuff. Like, engage with someone, like, domestic disputes. How many domestic disputes in America go bad? And if they're going to hit their wife, they're going to hit the social worker. Like, come on. Oh, my God.
See, Casey thought it was awkward, but Damon thought it was a good skit, personally. Wrong has become right, 100%.
Honestly, not like our kind of right, like the left.
I think Russo just came out of the closet in that. That's all.
Oh, because I role play with a bra.
Yep.
Well, no, because the closet door is open and you're right there.
Sorry. It's my little be the change hut, a room. All right, I can't. Let's I don't even know what we want to talk about. Lori Lightfoot's an idiot. Moving on. Let's talk about LeBron James. Well, Suni just went backstage. Either she's hitting the vape, this whatever.
I was trying to escape the awkwardness on this live with the whole drag and everything else going on.
Drag? Who's in
So
drag?
are we back? Are we back to being regular?
Who's
Yeah,
drag?
We're back.
Okay.
Suni, what is this? What the hell is this?
This is LeBron being a queen. You're next. Let's hold you accountable. And he put this out before all the information came out, kind of like BLM and every other person in the country that's black. Not all of you, but most of you. He reacted before the body cam came out. And then he had to walk his statement back because he deleted this. And then he put this bullshit excuse up. I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police. I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. Please explain to me how this, I'm not even going to read the rest of this because it's bullshit. How is this creating more hate?
I think it is creating more hate. It's creating more hate. It's actually not. It's not creating more hate. It's creating hate directly from this post. This is literally a threat to police officers. This is criminal behavior by one of the biggest voices in the black community, sports community, etc. And he is getting a pass on even his explanation, which is complete bullshit. He's taking it down because it's being used to create more hate. No, it is actually creating hate.
This isn't about one officer. It's about the entire system, which is what all leftists say, a system, but they can't tell us what system. Every system is fucking racist according to them. They will always use our words to create more racism. Who the fuck is they, bitch? You put it up there before you even had the facts of the case. Why don't these people ever take responsibility for their screw ups? Like they never do for anything.
Does he know the definition of accountability? He literally is not. So. He's not being accountable for his own actions right now.
He had to be carried off the basketball court because of an ankle sprain.
He's a bitch, bro. Everybody knows
he strained his vag. That's what happened. Like he caught his lip right on the bench and he had to be escorted off of the court.
I know what lip you're talking about. Got it.
The upper lip.
I don't get now I did not agree when Laura Ingraham said shut up and dribble, because I do think if you are a voice, well, I didn't. Let me explain. I didn't agree with it because I don't think it came from the right perspective. The come from wasn't great in terms of how she said it. Again,
what would you like her to say, Russo?
Hold on.
Right now, I want her to say shut up and dribble, because at this point he's been shown, his true colors have shown. At that point, he was in the beginning of his social justice movement, and it would have been better of saying, I want to bring LeBron James on and have a conversation because I don't know if he understands the power of his voice. I just think there was a different way of approaching it. At this point, shut up and dribble. Like he not because he's an athlete and he doesn't have a right to have a voice. He chooses not to take accountability for anything that comes out of his fucking mouth.
I would just prefer him to shut up. Like I don't even want him to dribble.
Cool.
I think Laura Ingraham had it right when she said shut the fuck up and dribble. It's just like Cardi B and Candace Owens. Yo, stay in your lane, bro. You dribble a ball for a living. You don't talk about the news. You don't talk about politics. We don't talk about policy. You dribble a ball. So go dribble a ball. And if you actually want to talk about what's happening, make sure you're well versed in it, or you can exit. And we have every right to say exit. Cardi B, stay in your lane. LeBron James, stay in your lane, bro. Dribble a ball.
And if LeBron's going to come out and make a statement, make sure it's not the time of the month because we don't want to hear your shit. I don't want to hear it.
He's whack.
He is whack.
I like what she said.
He is such a role model for all these people. He has zero integrity as a human. How he does everything in his life has no morality and no character. He literally is a self-loathing douchebag who literally lives in an all-white, predominantly white neighborhood with a fence and security. Take a seat, LeBron, just like you do in the fourth quarter when your team's down by 20 and you blame the championship on your teammates. Take a seat.
So Russo,
yeah,
What would you what would you have had her say? Especially when you think about it, he's an NBA player and she does this for a living.
I think she's proving. I think time has proved her right. I think at the time, you know me, I always like to let's have a conversation first. And here's the thing: like, I don't think athletes and actors and actresses should not get involved in politics. But if you're gonna get involved, be willing to go on opposing shows. So if you're the LeBrons, go on Fox News. If you and honestly, I think what's his name, John Voight. He's asked to be on CNN. I think he's been on a couple of times. Like when you're on a different spectrum, say, let's challenge each other. Let's have a thought. Have a fucking podcast. Do whatever you want. Bring different people on and have a conversation. LeBron just preached from his ivory mansion. And at the time, I was like, oh, it's not the right time for a white. I have to be a realist. It wasn't the time for a white female reporter that's big on Fox News because it spreads our thought process. Like the metrics. Look at it, a white woman saying like shut up and dribble. I can see how that can be spun, and that's why I thought it was dangerous at the time. But she's right at this point because he has not chosen to educate himself, and he's just fueling hate.
I live in his hometown. Like that's where I literally live there, and his house, even living in Akron, and Akron is ratchet, dude. Like it is ratchet. Like there on every street corner, I swear there's a guy, a homeless person every day. It's the same one. You would think like a year or two by now, like you'd have enough money, but like it is ratchet. And when he did live in Akron, he lived also in a predominantly white neighborhood. He didn't live in the neighborhood where he grew up. He didn't live near St. V's. He didn't live anywhere near there. He lived in a rich gated. I mean, a huge gate. It wasn't just like normal gate. It was like a non-scalable gate. Like, get out of here. Akron is, I mean, he's like, he gives back so much. Akron is trash. Sorry. It is.
So here's my counter to that, because I used to feel the same way. Like, you don't even do shit for your community. It's no point in us going back to put money in a community when they're just going to fuck it up anyway. Like, let's just keep it a ban. I understand why a lot of Black people don't go back. I think the best way that we can help our communities is to get involved with legislation, but do so with common sense. Like, go into it actually having a solution to help. Don't go in to push an agenda. So I can understand why people don't go back, because I'm telling you, you can't pay me to go back to Erie, Pennsylvania. I don't care how much you're offering me. I'm not going, because I know the atmosphere there. I know it's a hostile environment, and I know a lot of the people there are just closed-minded, narrow-minded people. They're not interested in anything that you have to say. So maybe Akron is just one of those cities like Erie to where it's like, what's the use? I'm going to put money into this, try to help y'all out, and y'all going to tear it up anyway.
You know, have you, God, I shared it. I think, Suni, you might have seen it. I don't know. There was something on my Instagram. It was an old movie clip. I have no idea what movie it was. It's from like the 70s or 80s. And it was a bunch of high-end politicians in a room. And I have no idea any of the actors. And it was Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans were coming off racist. And they were like, why would you, bring that Black person to this position or whatever it might be? And then the Democrats said, we do this because we want to take out the strongest members of their community and bring them to us so that they can't help their own community. That's how we stay separate. That's how we keep their community down instead of enriching that community. Now, they made both sides wrong. They made Republicans out to be racist. They made Democrats out to be super racist. But they were essentially saying to keep power and to keep everybody separated, let's find the bright and the beautiful and the ones that can change the world. Let's take them out of that community and help and keep them separate so that the ghettos and the bad parts of town and the bad elements stay that way. And it was an interesting scene. It was a minute long, and I was like, oh, that makes actual sense. And it kind of describes the politics of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, really, between the two. Republicans were deemed as racist. A lot of them were, especially in the 60s and 70s, or 70s and 80s, I should say. And then Democrats really just found a way to keep them down by giving just enough with the welfare programs and taking the smart ones out.
That's what they do. And then people get mad. Like, you don't want to come back? Like, hell no. y'all don't have nothing for me there. You wouldn't be appreciative of anything that I brought back. It would just be, they would be even more irritated that it came from me, even if it was helpful. Like, that's a mentality there. Even if it came from me, they don't want it. Nope. Even if it's like the best opportunity that you can ever want.
Hey, I have this great live video right now. There's a man in Minnesota, a black man, who's trying to go and see what's going on in Minnesota. He's live right now. And there's a bunch of white liberals, women liberals. Can I show it?
Sure. Yeah. Show the racism, because it's real.
So, by the way, everybody, as Blake's pulling this up, #BeTheChange.com/podcast. You can get ConserVengers, Changemakers, Make America Think Again. All of them are on there, and you can get the links to Apple Podcasts, wherever they are. So make sure you do that. And I'm going to throw this up on the bottom because I forgot to do this. If you want to support us, make sure you join our Patreon or any of the ways of supporting, and it's on the bottom of the screen. And here is Blake's. Blake, you want me to bring it up?
Yeah.
This is revenge for you. This is exactly what's happening. This is revenge for you.
How is it revenge when I'm telling
This is revenge for you to try to get people to attack me, and that's exactly what's happening here. You act like a black man can't think for himself. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know this, dude.
You're going to be in it. You're going to be in it. If you're going to talk to me, you're going to be in it. Have a civil conversation.
Okay, but I'm saying, but you are not having a civil conversation here. You were not having I'm saying you were not having a civil conversation that night when you were accusing me of something that you had no idea about.
I didn't accuse you. I was asking you. Other people. I never met you. I never seen you until that night.
And you told me that.
So I can't sit there and say no. I don't.
You saw me that night.
Come on, dude.
They said you were like, oh yeah, so it's like, oh, obviously you did it.
That's not true, dude. That's not true. No, what they did is they showed a picture of you, just like you showed a video of me. They showed a picture of you where you dox other people. That's what they showed. All I admitted to, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. Let me finish.
We need a cool graphic like that.
All I admitted to was that was you in the picture. If you actually dox someone, I have no proof of that. I only admitted that was you in the picture.
But you said that, like you said that I did it. And then all the rest of them were like, oh,
no, I admit that you were. I asked you at first, and you said you wouldn't say yes or no.
No, you asked me for my socials, and you asked me to prove I was a photographer to you, as if like that's something that I have to do out here. And then
it's the two masks for me.
You know what? Like, so what's happening right now? What's happening right now is a result of what you just did today. Regardless of what happened on BLM Plaza.
Telling them that you are a right-wing.
Come on, dude.
I told them you're a right-wing.
Come on, dude.
You're in the space.
A result of what's happening right now is because of you.
You got to record in here freely.
I didn't say nothing.
Really, until the end.
What did I say that was offensive to you?
Did I say you said anything? I'm saying.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So what was your reasoning?
Show how great conversations go when someone's wearing a mask.
What was your reasoning for doing that?
I can't even understand the other guy.
To document it.
To whom?
Huh? To the world.
To people that want to listen.
If you're doing something positive, don't you want the entire world to know about it? Yes or no? Who cares what they think?
You do. That's why you're giving it.
Who cares what they think?
That's why you're giving it.
Why do you care what people think? If I care what people think, I wouldn't even do this. People, everyone in the world needs to know.
Because, like,
come on, dude. Think about what you're saying.
No one from this camp is fucking calling you in the middle of the night. Your
camp, really?
Yes.
Dude, you want me to show you the list of death threats that I got because I think for myself? You want me to show you the list of death threats for people who want to come to my home?
No one here has your fucking home number.
Seriously?
No one here has your fucking phone number. No one here has your birthday, and no one here is showing.
Really? How do you know this? Let me explain this. How do you know this?
Anybody have this vital information?
Okay. So now they're just going to turn the music up. So this is what they're hearing. Dude, what's happening here?
Get the fuck away from him. Like a whole female out here.
This is exactly what happened in the past. When a black man thinks something, I wouldn't even say anything to anybody. He went around and started saying, hey, that dude's a right winger. That dude's a right winger. And now we got this happening right now. You know I'm right.
You are not right.
You know I'm right. Dude, if you just left me alone, I would have left. But you had to go around and start bringing people into it. And now I'm going to stand my ground and say, look, I'm a free black man. I get to think the way I want to, even if you don't agree with it. What's wrong with the way I think? I'm not coming down on any way you think, even though it's not legit. But I'm not even coming down on you.
But what I'm saying to you,
Hey, Kathy, thank you so much. Or Kitty. No, Kathy, thank you so much, Kathy.
Oh, you're
You're
muted.
muted,
Russo.
Russo.
Son of a biscuit. So this is I put something else up on Instagram.
It's Will
earlier.
Johnson. People keep asking. Yes, that's Will Johnson.
Will Johnson, yeah. So, like LeBron James said, and like I think people think, and there was an interview done, they did it in Minneapolis. There was a girl, there was a whole bunch of people they interviewed, and this girl legitimately, and I think this would be a great question that we should ask when you're wearing the Make America Think Again if we get this recorded. How many unarmed black people were killed by police last year? And they asked this girl, and this was terrifying. Everything else she said was really terrifying because it was the effect of this. This is the cause. The misinformation is the cause. The effect is, she said, I mean, if it comes down to killing white people, like, I mean, I don't think I should, I don't feel that way, but like, hey, if it happens, it happens. Like the effects can be so big because this is what people think of white people, because they think that cops and white people are the enemy. So she said, I don't know if you guys saw this. Do you guess how many people she thinks that are killed unarmed per year? Blake, what do you think? Unarmed black people per year. How many people do you think?
Unarmed black people per year?
Yeah. What was her guess?
What's my guess or whose guess?
This girl's guess that was talking about killing white people.
I'm going to say what I think it is. I think it's like 9, but I think that she thought maybe like 100.
Casey?
Let's go 150. I was thinking like 100, 200.
She was pretty vague. Suni, go ahead. What do you think?
I'll say 200. Just throw it out there.
You guys are all kind of correct because she said hundreds, but that's not the answer. She goes hundreds, probably actually hundreds in Minneapolis alone.
Wow.
And that's
shut the fuck up.
That's what, but I'm not even blaming her anymore. That's what people think. That is what has been put in front of them, and that is why I share stuff.
No, you blame them because they don't do their research and they're bigots. You don't coddle ignorance.
True. Oh, that's valid.
So if she's watching this, what's her name?
No, this wasn't my friend. This was a post that I shared. My friend that was a whole different.
Well, she's
thing.
also crazy. So if you're watching this, you're batshit crazy too.
So the actual facts in 2019, which to me are I want to read this to every single person that walks by and be like, what do you think now? And if they can find a way to spin it, I don't get it. In 2019, 26 unarmed whites and 12 unarmed blacks were fatally shot by police. By contrast, there are 7,000. What?
How many again?
In 2019, 26 unarmed white people, 12 unarmed black people.
I was close.
Yeah, you were real close. And this is 2019. Every year is different. By contrast, there were 7,484 black victims of murder in 2019. So, with that said, 12 unarmed black victims of police shootings accounted for 0.2% of all black people killed in 2019. 0.2%. 0.2%. Despite constant media coverage of police on black killings, a police officer is 18 and a half times more likely to be killed by a black male than an unarmed black male is to be killed by a police officer. 18 and a half times. Yet the police are the ones they're saying is the issue. How fucking I don't know how people can look at that and respond in a way that doesn't prove our narrative. How? It's common sense.
Common sense is gone, bro.
Can we pull this tweet up from Bree Newsome?
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
This is Bree Newsome. Read what she said.
Oh, hell no. I saw that.
She said teenagers have been having fights, including fights involving knives, for eons. We do not need police to address these situations. By showing up to the scene and using a weapon against one of the teenagers, y'all need help. I mean that sincerely. So why the fuck did they call?
So
they didn't just show up.
Wait, can we stop? Hold on. She's normalizing that knife fights should continue.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Where I'm from, we didn't have knife fights. We had fist fights. We didn't have knife fights. But if someone pulled out a knife, sure damn well the cops were getting called. And that person was going to be held accountable, not the person without a knife. And if that guy started trying to swipe everyone, he would have been shot. Oh my God!
So that's my next point. So how can people watch that? Because there's a lot of people, like last night when we brought that one of the guys on that was in your comments, we brought him on. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's a justified killing." So I think that there's some semblance, and I think that's why it's so important that we share these body cams and stuff like that. It shows people what happened, and they can reverse. The question then becomes, like this tweet, and the other people that honestly think that that was not a justified killing. I don't get how anybody can look at that and say that girl wasn't doing, like, I don't understand. And the taser comment. So in a 2019 report, analyzed taser use data from some of the largest police departments in the nation, found that police officers rate their tasers as effective as little as 55% of the time. So it's a coin flip. So if that's your sister and she's pinned up against a car with a girl with an 8-inch or 7-inch knife, do you not want the cop to take 100% force to make sure that he saves your sister?
I said this on the last show. If that girl would have been successful and slit that other girl's throat and the cops wouldn't have done anything, they would have blamed the cop for not intervening. So, like, what do the people want?
She said it. We don't need police to address these situations. So listen, Black folks, your leader, she's definitely a leader, so-called, in this movement. Do not call police for anything. It's fuck 12. So leave it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
don't call.
They and I think I haven't heard the audio clip, but allegedly the actual police call, there was somebody saying somebody is trying to stab somebody with a knife. Whoever said that, I don't know. I mean, if it's the girl, if it's the 16-year-old, that'd be really surprising if she came out. But that means the cop was looking for somebody with a knife trying to hurt people. Yep. He had one job. He did his job.
But why? But the thing is, like, our justice system is not like what happened in the Chauvin trial. It's not by the law. It's by public opinion. So, like, no matter, they could spin this however they want it. Like, I can't. And then you have queen bees like LeBron James dropping his 2 cents in when no one gives a shit what that man says. But he has a large following and influence across the world where if that man says something, people are going to buy it, whether it's true or not. I mean, damn, they bought the whole thing that he's a good basketball player, and here we are, year 12, 14. People still think he's the greatest of all time.
No, he's not.
No, and it's horrible. And you bring up the trial. That is a perfect example. A lot of people won't admit it. That trial was tainted, but it proved, and this is my point with it, is we have to start looking at it like, if I was in that court, I would like a fair trial. I would like people to actually not be tainted by a mob outside and actually look at the facts and the evidence that are provided.
They released where they worked.
Right. It's horrible.
I would have voted the same. I'm not going to lie. I would have voted the same way. If they released my family's information, my information, I would have voted the same way.
Sure.
I would have.
See that.
I'm not going to put my family and my life at risk over like, it's truly irrelevant to me. And that's just my honest opinion. Like, I'm not going to put my family at risk for some guy.
He didn't blindly shoot into a group of teenagers. His shots were very isolated to the suspect with a knife. Who cares if she's 16 at this point? She's 16 where her mommy and her daddy and her grandma watching her come out and attack other teens with a knife. Now, what if both of those girls would have died? Would you be happy that this little monster would have been in jail? Because that was her next fucking route. So which do you want?
But let's point the blame at the police. Bro. Let's point the blame at the police. Let's not talk about how the mom's not in the home, the dad's not in the home, she's on the streets, she's wielding knives, she's trying to kill people. Come on, accountability. Black community, why did she fail?
Blake, she was an honor student at one point in her life, one time, I believe. That they made sure.
Is that Kathy Griffith?
Yeah, that's Kathy Griffith. Everybody's
do they realize how racist and ignorant they truly sound? So you would have rathered her have been thrown to the system that you guys fight so hard against for Black people. You want to throw her to the system, allow her to kill 2 individuals, and end up nothing anyway. That's really what you guys want. You would rather see Black people locked up than dead so you can go ahead and virtue signal for the rest of the country. That's the only thing I could think of, bro. That's the only reason they have behind this stuff. You would rather see a cycle of Black people in and out of jail. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. So if it's either you dying and stopping the nonsense that you're doing, or you being a statistic in and out of jail, I'm not going to choose a statistic. That's a shitty way of life. And that's what these people are encouraging. I just really sat here and thought about it.
Well, and then also look at what no one's talking about. That guy kicking the girl in the head. No
That's
one says
okay.
a word, but that's okay. A Black guy kicking a Black girl in the head.
Not only that, I think
Women
that was her
empowerment.
dad. That was her
Women
dad, wasn't it?
empowerment. Supposedly, yeah. Women empowerment, though, right?
Hey, misogyny is illegal in England and Wales.
Wow.
I don't understand. I just so what? And this is gonna be a little bit shorter show. Blake's gonna probably have to leave pretty soon. But with that, actually, we'll announce it now, and then we'll go to the next thing, which is civil rights. Like how I keep saying, there was a couple posts.
Well,
on
Rusick, you guys can continue. I just have a school meeting. You guys can stay on.
I never said we were stopping. I just said it might be a slightly shorter issue. Blake, you don't matter that much.
It ain't gonna be short. You'll talk till the cows come home.
No. Anyways, with that said, there's people on my post that when I shared the shared the body cam footage with the intent of hoping to stop violence, so people knew what was actually going on. Somebody said that they were unfollowing me, the change, unfollowing. They're like, we didn't know you were opposed to this. I was like, yeah, bye. But somebody goes, it's amazing that you're on this side during the civil right, this modern or something civil rights movement. This is not a civil rights movement.
Who said that? Were they white or Black?
Funny enough, I think that was the white dude. That's why I said at one point, he goes, you've never walked in their shoes, etc. You've never done. I was like, he's like, you're just speaking for a place of privilege. I responded once with, bro, you're white. Like, what are you talking about? Seriously? So real quick,
I want to talk to these people. I really do.
I should. I think I did. I might have tagged you on that one before.
So
Blake
they
goes.
have a safe space training at work, and now at the end, they always tell us if we're white in the group that we have to check our white privilege.
No, they don't.
No, I'm dead serious.
Fuck off.
This girl at my work was doing safe space training, and they told her at the end, she's like, well, how exactly do I check my privilege? They're like, well, since you're a white, straight female, you need to check your privilege.
I don't like this world anymore.
No, I want it to go away. What the fuck happened?
Man, bro, I'm just having like epiphanies. If you limit police presence, okay, you're going to make crime rise, and then we're really going to see, I'm going to call it a genocide of the Black community.
Not from police.
Not from police, no, from ourselves. And that's almost like it's what these people want. So we warned Black people about BLM for so long. I remember Candace Owens did it first. And people just don't listen. You are your own demise at this point. I don't even feel bad anymore because this stuff is blatantly obvious. Wake up.
That video I showed earlier, they where the people were commenting, they're like, do you feel like this is mass genocide to Black people? And people truly believe that the killing of police officers to Black people was genocide and mass murder.
This shit is stupid. I'm over it. Like, I wake up every day and me and Suni laugh with each other. I'm like, Suni, this is really actually stupid. Like, everybody's dumb. Like, the biggest, here, question for y'all. What was the biggest thing what body part was washed the most in 2020?
Washed?
Yeah, what body part was washed the most?
Hands.
Nope, the fucking brain.
Boom! Blake with the mic drop. With that said, Blake, he's probably going to go pretty soon. So
yeah, I
make
gotta
an
go right
announcement.
now.
If you guys did not see this, Casey, if you have the link also, and we'll probably make a bit.ly or a short link for it. Operation TBA, Take Back America, our first major event a co-event between Primetime Patriots, Be the Change, and then American Snippets coming in. If you know Barb and Dave, we have speakers lined up. We already have some people that you've seen on here, and we're working to get more people. We're very excited about that. So our first event, there is going to be a Facebook event page where it'll get more details. It'll be linked to it. We'll, of course, make the announcements in here. It will be free on Saturday, May 22nd. On May 23rd, it will be Patreons of either Be the Change or Primetime Patriots only. And we'll talk about that more. But mark your calendars. That's going to be a full day of how the hell do we take back our country leading up to 2022. And we're going to give actionable items. We're going to give motivational Patriot-style motivation. So make sure, again, you set aside that day in your calendar. And Casey, did you put that up? Bye, Blake.
Bye, guys.
Love you, mean it. Anyways. Yeah, Casey, can you throw that up there real quick? Just the link that I had.
Yeah.
Because you have 78 monitors, you know. Oh, there you go. All right, there it is. It's in the chat. It's in the comment box right now. So if you see it, I think you just put it in the Be the Change one. Oh yeah, you're not set up as an admin right now in here, so we'll post it everywhere. But just so you guys know, pencil it in your or pen it in your calendars. We're having a whole day event, and then for those Patreons, Sunday will be a intimate Q&A with some of our speakers. Questions we can answer. We'll look up things on the fly if we need to. Just different things that we can talk about on that Sunday. This is the first of hopefully many, and hopefully one in person in the next few months or so. So Operation Take Back America, TBA. Boom. Okay, let's go back to civil rights, Suni.
Oh, geez.
This is crazy. I don't understand how we're having a conversation about civil rights when we have every right imaginable. I think black folks in America are the most privileged black people on the planet. I don't know how much more civil rights they want or need. Like, I really don't. Like I said earlier, at this point, you are setting up your own demise.
Reparations. That's what they want. Reparations.
People bring up history, and King Randall said it great. I think both you and I shared it. Suni said, we could talk about how everything was robbed and stolen from us by the white man 100 years ago. But if we choose to, like he's like, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and keep working until somebody comes and takes it again. But just sitting here and doing nothing isn't going to help shit. Brilliant.
It's true. It's true. We whine and gripe about white people, about how they stole the power. We don't have it anymore. And it's just so hard for us. And it's been the same song and dance for literally 57 years. I can count the day it started. Right after they signed the Civil Rights Act, the second one, and Martin Luther King aligned with the Democrat Party, it went to shit. We can even go before that. We can go W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. He warned so many black people of the traps set before them. He even opened his own schools, his own trades, so that he can provide jobs. And still, you would rather march in the streets and demand for somebody to give something to you rather than work for it yourself.
Well, they're under the impression that they're marching again. I do believe there is a percentage of the people marching, white and black, that are under this complete misunderstanding that they are trying to voice this massive problem in the United States of America, which they are not accurate. And I hate when somebody's like, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Based on everything that is valid in the United States of America and the world, the basis of right and wrong, your argument is wrong. It's factually, mathematically, scientifically incorrect. But the media has led you to believe that you are right. But if you do any research whatsoever, you are blatantly wrong.
You want to know another funny thing? We have the National Black Caucus. That they're there because they're supposed to improve and push forth positive agendas for the black community. This is the same Black Caucus that got behind the 94 crime bill. George Floyd bill, which is completely unconstitutional. What is it called? I can't even think of it right now. The point is, this same Black Caucus that's supposed to be helping pushes these destructive policies that poorly affect the Black community. The Black Caucus. I just want to know when people are going to wake up. You have a Black Caucus in Congress, bro, and they are still not helping. What is her name? Shirley Lee Jackson, bro? She was going for gun control in Texas. Did you see all the bills that she's pushing? How does that help the Black community?
Doesn't.
You're going to keep them from killing people. Because if you get rid of guns, then criminals can't have guns.
We have so many privileges, Black folks. We have our own designated caucus designated for us. And they still can't get it right. You have cities that are Black ran, and we still can't get it right.
Most cities are Black ran. Most downtowns, major metropolitan. So the post that I had, the guy, what he said was, what did I say? I said I typically don't share videos like this. And that's the other thing. I was very clear why I was sharing that video of last night, because it's important. I think it's important to make sure, like in my mind, we're protecting people. We don't typically share videos like this on Be the Change, but in order to get the truth out there as fast as possible so people can see that this cop saved a life, we find it important to share ASAP. Hopefully someone that needs to see this to understand the media narrative being spun will see what really happened. #share. And it's a fast video, so I said it seems people don't see what is happening because it's happening so quick. This woman has a kitchen knife in her hand, and she's actively stabbing people. That's all I said. I thought that was enough of a warning of what happened. And I got things from people randomly saying, this is incredibly disrespectful to showcase someone's death for any reason on your platform without a minimum content warning. I thought I warned at the top what I was showing, but okay, maybe I'll take that. Told me it was classless. She's dead now. You're leveraging her. I'm really disappointed.
So did they have the same sentiments with George Floyd being plastered all over the place?
I mean, I shared something with him when I thought it was a very powerful image when the knee was on his neck and it was a still shot, and I shared a whole post about it. And even that time, somebody said, "Do you know what kind of trauma you're causing to show this to Black people?" I'm like, okay, what do you want? Like, do you not want me to talk about George Floyd? Do you want me to talk about George Floyd? I don't really fucking know anymore what you really want. So then this is the guy that I know you're going to really enjoy, Mr. Welsh. I won't say his full name. You don't typically share videos like this, but you have no qualms showing one supporting the police. Why aren't you showing the one supporting the oppressed? Unfollowing.
So who's oppressed?
The police, technically, based on my math, are more oppressed than Black perpetrators. I'm just saying. Just based on the math. In this day and age, now we're not talking about 1960. We're talking about 2021, this day and age. I said, please read the damn posts. I'm trying to protect cities, protect businesses, protect lives, and protect the need for civility. There was a false narrative out there, and I fought to put this out to share as fast as possible to give actual information. He said, protect the lives of who? Interesting, you say protection of cities and businesses first. Where are your graphic videos about against police brutality? Why only post supporting police? And then somebody else said, now we know the hidden truth. I'm unfollowing. I'm like, I don't know how to please these people. I don't understand what they want. And again, this is a white dude attacking me, saying I don't understand, because he said in another place, I don't understand what it's like to be in their shoes.
I want to understand why white liberals feel like it's their place to even comment on if we are oppressed, if we need assistance or help. I'm just saying, like, I can't go to a white community and say, you need this, that, and the third, when I haven't spent a lick of time there. I'm not saying that white people can't comment. Cool, make your comments. But when you try to say what needs to happen and what doesn't need to happen, and you start talking about how we're oppressed, then I got a problem with you, because it's like, have you ever even spent time in these areas that you work so hard for? Have you ever gone to the hood and ever asked those people what they want? I can guarantee you being killed by a cop is the least of their worries. I can guarantee you that for a fact.
Not in their head.
I would love to. I just asked each one of them this question: have you ever spent time with a Black person that lives in these at-risk communities that you go so hard for? Not the token Black Negro that you keep around. I'm talking about Black folks that are actually suffering and going through it. Because if we keep it a band, they don't even like you. They don't like white people. So you doing this means nothing.
I'm gonna share the part where he said that I'm looking through a privilege lens. He didn't say white privilege lens, but let's be honest, we knew what he was talking about. But he first says, wait, because I did a follow-up video of like why I shared that, because there was a lot of feedback of why that was bad, and then there was a lot of people like, thank you for sharing. But he said, wait, it's because I talked about why it's important, because the taser wouldn't have worked. And he said, oh, now you're an expert on tasers. Said we talked to police. I said, look at Nashville a month ago. The girl got tased and still shot the police officer. So no, it's not. I'm using basic logic. And then he said, so just because it doesn't work every time, we should resort to bullets. Someone refused to be handcuffed, just shoot him down. No need to try anything else. That's not really the way it works. That's not how it's always been done. If they've got a weapon and they're trying to fire, that's when they're shot. So then he said, the risk of someone dying is much less with a knife. So even if it were my sister, I hope they didn't kill someone just in case. I just said, I'm glad I'm not your sister then, because that's absolutely fucking absurd. And then I also said, a lot of times when it comes to the people being killed in these instances, even the unarmed, sometimes it's warranted because of what's going on in the scenario. So I said that in there, and this is the comment about my privilege lens. Most of the time it's warranted, ? You clearly do not understand that people of color are treated differently by police. That's the issue. You show a lack of knowledge on the subject. I do agree that people of color are treated differently by police. I've always said that. I said there is an issue with policing, but there is a cause and effect. If you're in a bad neighborhood and it's a rougher neighborhood and it's broadcast out there, often it's going to happen that way, unfortunately. And sometimes in nice neighborhoods, like people like some of the people we've had on the show, they're in nice neighborhoods, they're Black, and they get pulled over for nothing. And it's Curtis, for example. Sorry. Curtis is one of those. He's been pulled over 4 times for absolutely nothing for being Black. And I don't agree with that.
How do we know that? That's because Curtis told you that.
I've known Curtis long enough to trust he explained the stories, and him and I had long conversations about it. And he's not mad about it. He just said there is a difference. And I do think there is a difference in policing, but not necessarily police brutality or police murder. So he says, yeah,
okay, I'll wait till you finish and then
it's almost done. He said, you say their own city. Do you think Black people own an equal share of their city? Do you understand the power of indifference? Do you worry about carrying your receipt out the door because you'll be questioned if you steal it?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Open your heart. You're looking through such a privileged lens.
Oh my God.
Mr. Welsh.
That does not happen to Black people. I can promise you when I go to the store, bro, I walk out just fine. I've never had anybody stop me. Like never. I've never even had a white person say anything ignorant to me until I came out as conservative. That's when I had all the hate in the world from white people. Outside of that, white people were extremely nice to me growing up. They welcomed me. The only people I had an issue growing up with is Black folks. And it was because I spoke proper. I was smart. I wanted to do things outside of getting high and acting a plumb fool. Make this make sense. And to counter what you said by Black people are treated differently, it's a stigma that we have to deal with because we won't stand up and put the people that put this stereotype on us in their place. We give them a pass. We allow rappers to do and say what they want. We allow people to walk around with an ignorant ass attitude with your pants hanging down. All the people that police would be looking for, you look like them. So don't get mad when they pull you over and treat you like them. It's not even unfortunate. White people, you can't walk around looking like white trash. You can't walk around with your teeth busted out looking half crazy. The police would probably treat you differently too. It has to do with how you carry yourself. So when Black men do that shit, why they pulling me over? What do you look like, sir? Are your pants pulled up? Do you look like you have some sense? Because if you don't, cops might look at you weird. And it's just a fact of life. Either change how you dress or deal with it. If you're walking around with dreads, bro, you might get stopped because you don't look kept up. I'm sorry, you don't.
I agree.
Or
And
you can just lose all your hair like I did.
Shelly jumped in at the wrong time. I'm not saying the police do a bad job policing black neighborhoods or anything like that. I'm saying there is a slight difference. I don't think I can. I have to be honest. I do think there is a slight difference in the way that we police, but there is I think there, as I always say, there's a cause and effect. There is reasons why there is a slight difference. There is people pulled over for being black. I've got way too many black friends that have been pulled over for nothing. And I'm like, no shit, really? And it doesn't happen to every black person, but it does happen. But at the same time, the interactions are quick. They're done. They're over. It's unfortunate, but that's life. Now, the interactions where there's people that don't comply, they escalate. And even when they don't comply, 99% of the time, it still ends up okay for the person. They might get arrested. But in our world, we think that everybody's getting killed. Chelsea Handler thinks that 50% of black people that get pulled over are killed.
I will challenge every black person that says that. You get treated differently because you're black, or you got pulled over because you're black. I'm going to challenge that. I want to know how you know it was because you're black. Because a lot of black people walk around with fucking paranoia.
Could be.
They do. It's because I'm black. I didn't do nothing. Maybe you don't feel like you did something, or maybe you just look suspicious. Well, who knows? Like, who knows what's going through the officer's mind at the time? So I'm challenging every black person, and whoever's watching, if you've been pulled over while black, prove it.
And I'm open-minded to the conversation of it happening either way. Like, I'm not going to be, I'm a white dude in a car, so I actually cannot speak for every black person's experience. What I can speak for is the statistics on things that are actually charted in this country, which are police killings, which are all those, anything that we can see a statistic on, those I can stand on. I can stand on my laurels on those because those are concrete. And even if you grade them to a point, even if you add and you pad them, they're still a fraction of what people truly believe.
Mm-hmm. I only say this because I grew up in a really, what you would deem a racist town. White people in Erie don't like black people. They don't. And it's well known.
I didn't get that.
But
Siri didn't like that.
Not once has my father been stopped. Any of my cousins. In fact, they know my family there. If you're stopped by a cop, it's because you did something. Like, straight up. And I grew up in an extremely prejudiced town. So I don't know. I'm just speaking from my experience and how I've grown up my entire life. So maybe there are some officers that may be pulling you over because you're black, but you'll never know that because you don't know what's in that officer's head.
Yeah.
No, but I drive. You can't even see in my car. You can't even see if I'm white or black or whatever color. I could be pink.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to see in my car to see the color of my skin to pull me over. So I don't get pulled over.
I want to read her comment. She said, I don't agree. Your appearance is irrelevant. Your appearance means a lot. Sorry. Ashley.
How far up?
Ashley Marie Gallarde. 948.
I don't agree with that. Any appearances are break a law. Well,
if you look sketchy, you might get pulled over. Sorry, it's a part of life.
Is it hard to see if I think if somebody's leaving a store or a Walmart and they've got the saggy pants and they're wearing whatever and they look like that to me is more suspicious. In a car, it's hard to see anything but skin color if you can even see that.
So we got to stop, man. If you look like an unsavvy character, you might get treated as such. That's like if I walked around looking a hot mess, cops are going to be like, ma'am, are you on some drugs? Are you okay? I can't get mad. It's because of how I presented myself. Yeah. But this is a conversation that can go on and on and on forever because I just don't feel like people are grasping just reality without putting their feelings in it. Just try that one time.
I remember as a kid, like I have to think back, and I'm like, my teenagers, when I was a teenager, I remember that we were a bunch of white kids in the county. If you were driving your car, don't have your hat on backwards when you pass a cop.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, it was just you'd get pulled over, like, and you would. So that, like, this is a predominantly white community. So if you're younger, they're going to pull you over. Maybe they might just pull you over to see if you're doing anything wrong because we're younger,
Facts.
So I don't know. It's ridiculous. But this is not it's civil rights. Do you think civil rights leaders, and this is the way we'll end the conversation, do you think civil rights leaders in the 1960s would freak the F out at what we are deeming, if they were civil rights leaders that were actually looking past the media and into statistics, would they realize that it was a complete bitch slap in the face of what they went through during Jim Crow and during the civil rights movement?
Yes, because he's a Democrat, and his last name is DeBerry. He did a speech and he said, "You guys ought to be ashamed of yourselves." I remember standing outside with my grandfather or his dad when Dr. King was alive and marching, and you don't have anything to be marching. He said you'd have nothing to be marching for. So, yes, I think they would be pissed the fuck off. I think Malcolm X would disown every black person marching around screaming BLM. I think he would call them out, and I think nobody would do a damn thing to stop him, and it would be okay because he stood for the truth. So I'm gonna have to say yeah.
Malcolm X is the most spot on of anybody, and he said the biggest danger to Black America is the white liberal.
Yep.
And we're seeing that now, but nobody is listening. And everybody, all these kids wearing their Malcolm X T-shirts, they don't know anything about Malcolm X. They don't know anything about the history. They don't know anything about what he said. If they did, anybody wearing a Malcolm X T-shirt to a Black Lives Matter protest should have the shirt ripped off their body.
Yep.
Not forcibly, because I don't want to condone violence, but they should be asked nicely to take the shirt off of their back. They don't get it.
Still trying to figure out how you do that nicely.
Excuse me. Have Blake do it. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh God.
On other news, what do you guys think of the haircut? I feel so fresh.
You do look fresh, man. You actually look like a Navy guy.
He's got too long
Kelly
hair.
didn't like it, she said.
You're saying that because he was making a deal with Blake earlier today about coming out of the closet?
Yes, soldier.
No, he looks like a Navy guy. He really does.
Navy SEAL. Woo! Pain train's
he's got a
coming.
beard. You can't have a beard if you're a regular sailor.
Special ops.
Unless you say, "Hey, I'm black," or you say, "Hey, look, I got an ounce of black in me and I get razor bumps." They'll write you a waiver so you can have a beard.
No shit.
All you gotta do. Yep. So go ahead and use your black privilege if you ever enlist.
Got you. I'm 12%. Oh wait, somebody just asked, what wasn't Malcolm X a racist?
No, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Malcolm X was what you call a black nationalist, and he believed he needed to be there for his community, but he also took a pilgrimage and he came back and he realized you're much powerful together. So he came back with a completely different mindset, and he said, "I will work with anybody who wants to work with me, but recognize that I'm still and 100% for black people." But he was not a racist.
So then what happened once he said, "I want to work with everybody"?
Oh, they killed him. They were like, "Bye-bye."
Pew, pew. Pew, pew.
The Nation of Islam, I might say. Because a lot of black people will flip it and be like, "Oh, he was killed by the white man because he was talking," and he was killed by his own people because he was exposing what they were doing. Shots fired.
Yep. Once anybody gets any ability to have a platform and a stage to actually bring people together and unite them, they are silenced one way or another. And Malcolm X was during an era where you didn't have, obviously, social media. You had the power of the press. You had the power of the people. He had word of mouth. He had people following his every word. He had the power of the print. He had everything that you could possibly have at that time. And he even had the power of change. Why? Because he had changed.
Yep.
And he was cut down. And I was raised to believe that Malcolm X was racist as well. So they've also, not only did they kill him in that moment, they've tarnished his history.
Yep.
It's fucking scary what we do. And we talk about learning history in schools and no, we got to do this. We got to switch to this history. We don't fucking know what happened. I'm sorry. We don't know true history, period.
Facts, Russo. Those who win wars write history. That's how it goes. Malcolm X was he was a visionary and a revolutionary man. Like I use him as a mentor. I swear I do. I've read his books. I've listened to almost every speech that he has written. I've watched his interviews. And there's no way that you could say that he's racist. And you actually listen to him and listen to what he stood for. He's the dopest black leader alive at that point. I prefer him to Martin Luther King. I feel like Martin Luther King is what we see now. But he was actually proactive, but it was more so marching, begging, asking, chanting. And Malcolm was like, no, you can change your own communities. Use your vote. The Ballot or the Bullet. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it.
Yeah. Oh, anything else you guys got? I mean, I know we were started out kind of funny. We had a few funny moments, but for the most part, we're sick and tired of this bullshit.
Not for me.
That's it, man. That's all we got going on is bullshit in our nation.
So we got to take back America. That's what we got to do.
Yes, we do. I can't wait. That's going to be fun.
Yep. And we'll have a full schedule so you guys will know who's speaking when. You guys can come in and out whenever you want to. See who's coming. I think we verbally, the one person I know we verbally definitely have, well, besides Barb Allen, who's a Gold Star wife, and Bobby Sauce, I believe, is in. We got to double check the dates, make sure.
Bobby's in.
I'm going to have King Randall on Changemakers in a couple weeks. And then, yep. And then maybe we'll see if he'll come and speak at the event as well. So,
how many tickles does it take to make a squid laugh? 10. What? I don't get it.
How many tickles does it take to make?
Yeah, she said 10. What does that mean?
Tickles?
Tentacles.
Oh.
10 tickles. Ah, that's good.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Amy. I'm like 10.
Oh, that's great. That's so good. Cash, I don't know. Him and I were talking about his stuff today. The appeals lawyer doesn't have the court appointed. We'll see. We are figuring it out. He just got his court appointed appeals lawyer yesterday or 2 days ago. And it sounds as though it's a hard battle because they really can only go through the transcript of the original sentencing and original trial. So there was an original trial because he pled. So we'll see. We're going to do the best we can. Even then, the appeals process is going to take 6 to 12 months. So I had a vision that he was going to be out by Christmas. We're going to keep that vision. I think he's
going to be out too. Personally,
I have a feeling, but I definitely, if I was a betting man, and betting on Dogecoin to the moon, I wouldn't bet on this one.
Bevelin, something happened with the scheduling. We've already rescheduled, so I'll let you guys know when she'll be on.
BB. Boo. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that's it. Final words, Casey. What do you got, Chatty McChatterson?
Not much tonight. I'm tired, but 2022 is coming, guys. Let's be ready.
Words.
That's it.
Tiffany, what do you got?
Get ready for 2020 and shut all that fucking crying up. And anybody who has something ignorant to say about the military, bro, I want all the smoke. I've been watching it in my comment section. I want all the smoke.
Suni, do you know what's worse about my friend that just said how ridiculous it was that I triggered her by posting that video? Her husband's military. And I know she posts a lot about the vax and she's a nurse, so I get it. But for me to not have my First Amendment rights to try to create change, and her husband just got back from a 2-year tour or whatever, a year tour, whatever it was. I went off on her on a voice message. I had to. I was like, I never do this to my friends, but I'm so disappointed the fact that you've called me out for my judgment and my whatever this was. And I'm like, your husband fought for a country where I'm allowed to speak and not be judged on what I say. You can disagree with what I do and say, but to actually judge me for it, get the fuck out of here.
Wow. Yeah, ma'am. I'm gonna shut up. I'll say that for another live.
What we need to take back America. Deuces. May 22nd and 23rd at the online arena of the interwebs. Jesus.
Be there, be square.
Be there, be square.
Be there and be square.
Be there, be square. So Blake left early. Do you think that he's getting boned right now or what? Did he really have a Zoom call?
Rather not think about what he's doing.
Why do you have such a fantasy about him?
What? I do not have a fantasy about him.